Hi everybody, it's Brittany here back again. Sorry it took me so long to make another video. I had a pretty busy weekend and I didn't really have a lot of time for making videos, so nonetheless here we are again. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to my subscribers. There's 28 of you who have subscribed to my channel already. It's a very encouraging start and I thank you very much. I see a lot of you are my followers from Reddit as well, so it's lovely to have you over here looking at my content. It's Monday afternoon here in Sydney, and I thought I'd just try to pick up where we left off on Friday. But before I did that, I just want to say just a couple of things, that just a reminder that I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. All I'm doing, remember, is just talking to you about my experiences and things that have happened to me. So by no means is this a how-to or a step-by-step on how to be transgender. You've got your own experience, but I'm just hoping that what I'm recording here might resonate with you and hopefully give you some kind of hope or guidance. And there's the opportunity for comments if you wanted to ask questions in specific to my transition or yours. And that's a little nice segue into the comments for this video. Let's see if we can get more comments on this one than any of my other videos. So yeah, I just want to sort of not put that as a disclaimer, but I just want to remind you that I'm just here talking about my own experiences. The other thing too I wanted to kind of say was that I hope I don't appear as though I'm getting too far ahead of myself, like I sound like I've got it all figured out, because I don't. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to make the best of what's happening, the best of my journey and my situation, and just trying to look at the positive side of things and, I don't know, kind of celebrate the wins, if you like. If you're further ahead of me and you're looking at me saying, oh my God, you've got no idea, girl. You don't know a thing about what's about to happen to you. Can you help me out with a little bit of insight? Can you pop something in the comments and say, hey, you know, you're at 4 months, that's fantastic, but here's what's about to happen. And look, I can only comment on what's happened to me. I've only been doing this for 4 months, so I don't have that perspective of what it's like at 8 months and 12 months and beyond. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm really happy with how far I've come and the changes and things that I've experienced. So I just want to celebrate my journey with you. I hope that's okay. So some of the things also in my previous videos I said I'd come back to, like I'd say, oh, I'll just park that and we'll come back to that later. I think one of them was a comment that my wife made when I first came out to her, and the comment was, why now? She'd asked me, well, you know, why now? And I think there's a few meanings behind that, so I'll try and answer it the best I can. I think why now as in, why now in this stage of your life? You know, you're almost 50, let's face it. You've come this far, why wouldn't you just continue on? Simple answer, I just couldn't. I couldn't continue on anymore. And I kind of felt as though I don't want to use the word wasted, but waited maybe is a better word to use. I've already waited so long, and now's my time. So why now? Because it's my time. That's why now. I think there's also a portion of that question that relates to the financial aspect of transitioning, because we've come to learn quite quickly that transitioning is not a cheap affair. It costs money, and between the medication you have to take, between the doctors and specialists and endocrinologists and the endless list of people you need to see, therapists, speech therapists, laser hair removal, let's not even talk about the cost of makeup and clothes, hair, eyebrows, ear piercings, like it's so expensive to be a woman, and I'm sure my wife feels very validated now that I've realised this. But there's that aspect as well that you have to consider as the financial part of it. So I've basically had to renew my entire wardrobe, and I'm not even close to having a complete one. Sure, I do maybe have some things that I may have had lurking around for some time that have made a reappearance, but we won't talk about that. Not in this video anyway. So the third part of my answer is, I think, environmental changes. So what really has shifted for us is that we moved house. So our house that we'd lived in for 17 years down the coast, the house we brought our children home from hospital to, many firsts happened in that house, but there were some dark times there as well. I did have an outdoor bar, which I would call a shrine to my misery, which has since been demolished because we are building a new house. That's not a bad thing. So there's the financial aspect of the new house I mentioned, but also the environmental change. We moved into this 2-bedroom unit that we're temporarily living in. So 4 of us in 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a toilet in that said bathroom. And now there's another woman in the house that needs a little bit of extra mirror time. Adds up to some very tricky scheduling that's been required. Anyway, so at the same time, I also changed roles at work, where my substantive role is I'm a people manager. I manage large teams of people, and I'm face-to-face with them on a daily basis. So my current role, I don't have that. I only have 4 people in my team, and the bulk of my work is administrative. So I'm working from behind computer screens all day. Sure, I've got Teams meetings, video meetings and things that I host, and that just takes a little bit of getting used to as well. Especially now that I'm presenting as myself, I need to do a little introduction. So the video meetings that I will host, and who might be attendees that haven't met me as me, but they've known me as the previous me. I'll just do a little introduction at the start. Before I turn my camera on, I'll just say, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I'm just going to do a quick introduction. I'll pop my camera on and I'll just introduce myself. And so I turn the camera on, and then after everybody gasps and you see the eyes light up, I just simply say, hi everybody, my name is Brittany. I am a transgender woman. My pronouns are she and her. It's really nice to meet you all. And then I just move on, just start with the agenda and just business as usual. And it's a nice little professional touch, I think, to make my audience feel comfortable so they're not guessing the whole time, like it's pretty obvious, but how, why, what, huh? And then I can sort of then open that window up for conversation. If people want to ask questions, I'll say, just give me a call or something offline, and I'm more than happy to explain my circumstance to you. So back to the why now and the environmental factors. So I'm working from home or in this unit. My wife and kids are going still down the coast for work and school. So I'm essentially left here alone. So I'm kind of like working in a bubble. I'm kind of like removed from the world. So it kind of gave me that opportunity to pull out the skirts and, you know, reacquaint myself with that side of my personality. And then it all just kind of clicked. It just kind of, all those factors together was like, yeah, this is my time. I don't want to wait anymore, and this is who I want to be. And that's when I had that moment and I came out to her and I told her my identity. And one of those first questions was, why now? And I think I just answered that. Okay, so another couple of things before we wrap up. Looks like this is getting over a recap video than anything moving on with the story. It's just around, I mentioned also around my height. I mentioned that I'm 182 centimetres, or 6 foot in height where I was. So there's a lot of documentation out there, a lot of stories being told about trans women who lose height once they start to transition. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's a thing. So I've lost 4 centimetres. So I've always been 182 for as long as I can remember. Late teenage years, I hit 6 foot in high school, and I pretty much stayed there. Less than 12 months ago, when I had my surgery, my weight loss surgery, I had to be weighed and measured for my BMI, and I was 182 centimetres. So it's not like, oh, you're just getting old and you're shrinking or whatever. It's been since I've been on hormones that I've started to lose height. And I was standing there in the kitchen with my wife the other day, and we were standing in front of each other, and our eyes were at the same level, when normally I'm a little bit taller than her. And she actually said to me, you look like you're getting shorter. And we looked down to make sure, no, neither of us were wearing shoes, so we were on an equal playing field there. And I said, yeah, yes, I am. So yeah, that validates, for me anyway, that height can be lost. So I don't know if it's my pelvic positioning, if it's my spine. I don't know how it's happening. All I know is it has happened. In the same token, I've also lost a shoe size. Now, this is only 4 months. I mentioned a moment ago how I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and how there's all these other things still to come. But I guess all I'm doing is just celebrating where I am, and I think I deserve to do that. I'm pretty happy with the developments that I've had and the changes that I've had and the emotional and the psychological changes. I'm just really happy with all of it. And I don't know, I think it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile talking about this. It's worthwhile celebrating the good times and the positive, because I think there needs to be more of that. Just to show people that, hey, it's actually not a bad thing. It's got challenges, don't get me wrong. I might talk more about them in another video. But what I'll wrap up on though is a bit more around the emotional side of things, and specifically around crying. It's true that you do cry more. And I think it's just, you just become, I don't think more in touch with your emotions. I think it's the depth of those emotions. You're allowed to access more of that reserve, that vault that stores all those emotions. And I'll give you a scenario, an example to try to illustrate. So I just watched a first season of this particular show on, not Amazon, on Paramount, called Why Women Kill. Great show. If you're looking for a show, something to watch, I think it's a 10-part season, 10 episodes. If you're looking for a show that's going to make you laugh, but also make you cry, this is a show for you. And my God, I've never, ever, ever cried the way that I did in this show. And I'm not going to tell you anything about what happens or what part of the show I cried, because I don't want to spoil it for you if you do choose to watch it. But my God, maybe there was just some personal connection to the storyline. I don't know what it was, but I cried so much. And I mean, it was like, not just a little sob like when Paul Walker died in the Fast and Furious. I mean, that was pretty sad. But I was like bawling my eyes out, uncontrollable sobbing and like ugly crying. Is that a thing? But then I felt so good about it. I actually thought, I'm glad that it touched me so deeply. I'm glad that I could sit there with my wife and have that experience. And the beautiful thing was she just came over and she sat with me. She didn't make her cry. It was just me. And she sat with me and put her arm around me and just gave me a cuddle. And it was actually quite a beautiful moment. And it's those little moments like that that we get to share with people that I think really also make this worthwhile. Not only is it how you feel about yourself, how about your image and how you look, and you finally get to dress the way you want to dress, you get to present the way you want, you get to play with makeup and hair and nails and all the things I wanted to do as a girl. And I missed all those teenage years. That's another, back to the why now. I didn't get to experience all that in my teenage years, or not the way I wanted to anyway. I experienced a little bit of it in secret, but I couldn't express myself that way. I missed all those years. And then my 20s and, going out clubbing, wearing cute dresses and high heel shoes and things. It might sound silly if you know me or you knew me as the old me and you're listening to me now going, oh my God, like you're really getting into this. No, I'm not really getting into it. This is just who I am. And it's quite also affirming to be able to just speak your truth without feeling embarrassed and just saying, well, that's just who I am. So, all right, I think we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you again for coming this far on my journey. I know it's long. I know I tend to talk a lot about stuff, but now it's your turn to talk. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me some comments. Come on, let's really get the comments going on this one. Give me some inspiration for the next few videos. I want to really hone in on what it is that you want to hear about. So, all right, thank you so much again for listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, bye-bye.